Time for another sample breakdown. This time, special one, all about Primo. I've got 3 of his famous tracks that I'm going to demo, chop up, show exactly how he's put them together. Let's see what's first up.
Drop the beat.
Nas represent absolute classic track from Nas's debut album. 2 main samples used on this, the drums and then the main sample that's chopped up. I'm going to start off talking about the drums because it's quite an interesting story behind this. So in the 90s, George Clinton, he saw that there were a lot of people sampling music and he wanted to get in on that game. Now, he had a lot of back catalogue of music that had never been released, studio versions where all the tracks will have been recorded individually, the drums, the bass, the full mix. And he released a record specifically with the idea that people could sample from it. So on the back of it, there was contact details to get in touch, and he was happy for any of those to be licensed and used in music. Now, this album was called Sample Some of Disc, Sample Some of DAT. So DAT standing for digital audio tape, which is what was used in the studio back then for recording onto. So this particular track is called All Night. So on there was the full mix, just the bass, just the drums. So I'm going to start off with showing you the drums. Primo really loved these drums. So this was the first track that he used them on, but he also used them on Return of the Crooklyn Dodgers. He used them on Above the Clouds by Gang Starr. So have a listen to the drum sample as it is. That's as it is. Now, he's chopped those up. The first thing he's actually done as well, over the top of the kick drums, he's added a 909 bass sound, like a low end. So what I've done, when I've chopped it up, I've set the pads where the kick drums come in to trigger the kick drum and that 909 sound. And then he's played a pattern with it. So let's have a listen to the actual drum pattern he's done. So that's the drums. If we move on to the main sample, Lee Erwin, The Thief of Baghdad. Now, it didn't get released officially till the 1970s, but this is from long before that. This was used on silent movies, and that's the name of the compilation album it appeared on. So we have a listen to the main sample. So instantly recognisable. What he's done with that, he's chopped it up, and the first he's applied a pitch to it. Now, normally you'd say how many semitones it's been pitched up or down by. What has happened with this particular one, and I've noticed when looking into Primo tracks, he often pitches things up or down by half a semitone. So it's not quite full semitone, midway in between. I'll show you what I mean. So this is what it sounds like normally. And then if we go on to the fine tuning, so original and the pitched. So the main part of the track is just really a loop from that sample. But what comes in and out, and it starts off at the beginning, is this one. And that doesn't really sound like much. But it's about the pattern that Primo's done with it. Have a check. So let's play that over the top of the drums. You get the finished track. So one of my favourite Nas tracks ever there. Let's have a look what we've got next.
Drop the beat. Drop the beat. Drop the beat. Drop the beat. Drop the beat.
D&D All-Stars 1-2 Pass It remix. Interesting thing with this, Primo did the original and the remix. I'm going to concentrate on the remix for this one. I'm going to start with the drums again. Typically with Primo, I don't think this is a sample drum pattern. I think he's just took individual drum sounds, put a pattern together. So I've just found some that sound similar-ish. And this is the pattern that he did on the track. And then there's just one sample used on this, and it's from a track by Junior Mance called Lil Darling, and it sounds like this. So what's been done to this? First thing, it's been pitched up quite a lot. It's been pitched up by +6. So have a listen. And then a chop on it. So this is one pretty easy track, but it's just about the chop and the pattern that he's come up with. So this is what he's done. And then if we play it all together. Short and sweet, this one, but it's a track that I really like, so I want to give a bit of a demo of it. Third and final track. Let's see what is coming up.
Drop the beat. Drop the beat. Drop the beat. Drop the beat. Drop the beat.
Mos Def, Mathematics. Brilliant track. Very, very complicated chop on this. I'm going to demo what the original track is, how it's been chopped up. I may have to do a few takes to get this one right, to get it in one go, because it is pretty difficult, but really great track. I'm going to start off with some drums. Again, I think that he's just taken some single drum sounds. They sound very similar to the sounds he's used in many of his tracks. So I've found some that sound quite close. And then I programmed in the same pattern that he's done, which sounds like this. So that's the drums. The main sample is from the Fatback Band, Baby I'ma Want You, and it sounds like this. Okay, first thing that's been done with that, it's been pitched down by -2. So it sounds like this. And then it's been chopped up. So these are the chops that have been done with it. And then at the beginning of the track, it's one particular sample that's played really quick. And then the main thing kicks in. This is the bit I might struggle with. I might have to retake this. Eventually got it. Took a few takes though. So that's the pattern. Pretty complicated. So I'm not going to try and do it all over the beat. I've made it a sequence of it already. But this is what the finished track would sound like. So, Mos Def Mathematics, another great Primo production. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a comment, leave a like. If you want to see more in these series, subscribe and you'll get notifications. Thanks for watching.